Aye. Thank you. Okay, this meeting is being recorded. My name is Toni Barrient, and I am the leader for the Hearing Loss Association of America Mission Viejo Chapter. The Hearing Well Club has been in Laguna Woods for over 10 years, but it merged with the Hearing Loss Association of America because it gives us some good benefits to do that. In the future, soon, I hope, we're going to change the name to the Orange County Chapter. So, but for now, legally, we are the Mission Viejo Chapter doing business as the Hearing Well Club in Laguna Woods, and for those people who knew it. We have a hearing loop in this room, and there's two ways you can access the sound, what I'm saying. And that is, if you have T-coil equipped hearing aids, you put it on that program, on your hearing loop program. So does anybody here have hearing aids with a T-coil? One. You do?
I do.
Yes. I know you. Daniel does. Okay. So let me get Daniel. Somewhere. I have to look for it. I have some I thought I brought some handouts that explain what a telecoil is and what a hearing loop is. If you'd like to experience the hearing loop, even though you don't have telecoil in your hearing aid, and even though you don't have hearing aids, I can give you a listening device. Would you like to try it? So a listening device consists of, turn around, consists of a box that you wear, and then you plug in a headset. I'm going to have to show everybody. So put this on. This plugs into here. And then you turn it on and turn it off. You adjust the volume for your personal preference. So here in Laguna Woods, we have 12 hearing loops in the performing arts and in just about every clubhouse. On that table for Laguna Woods residents, you will see something like this that gives you shows you what is available where. So where the hearing loops are. Would anybody like to try one?
Is that better than this?
I'm going to turn the volume down.
Better?
Well, here, just put it on. Okay? Can you hear to it?
It doesn't seem any different than when I have it normally.
Have you ever used the T-coil option?
I have it now.
Okay, it may not be programmed for your hearing aid.
Oh, well, it's supposed to be.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Would you like to try it?
I have hearing aids, so we can try to.
Okay, so the way to use this with hearing aids is to try to rest it on the top of your hearing aids. The microphone on your hearing aids are on the top. Right on the top. Right on the top. So try to balance this right above. It's not difficult to do.
Above the volume.
Yeah, the volume is not on, so I turned it off. So what do I?
Just a little. That's to be down. Okay.
Anybody else like you want to try one, Earl?
No, I've got a T-coil, but I found that I have to, when I put it on the keyboard, because this is such a small room, and you talk loud enough, I have to mute my T-coil, turn it on and off in order to hear the differences.
Okay. Where did Rick go? Did he leave?
He took off.
Okay, we have. And but here, I'm the one that's talking, so it's supposed to follow me. Okay, it's starting to follow me. Follow me now. This is an AI, artificial intelligence camera. And when I step over here, it's supposed, Alan, don't use the focus feature. Just let AI find me. Okay, so let me come over here. Is AI going to find me over here? Hello? That's right. All right, well, this is either going to work or it's not going to work. So thank you all for coming. Okay, please sit down. Anybody else like to try a listening device? Okay, Amy, yes. Hi, Randy.
I don't.
Put a little bit.
Free speech, that's all he's got to say. If you disagree with him, you're gonna like freedom of speech. Look at my deed.
Toni? I accidentally unmuted you.
Would you please sit down?
Wow, okay, well, that's it. Yeah, well,
They do have devices though. They're not anything. You got anything more, Tony?
right back.
Nice. Did you get a name tag?
Yes, it's right in here.
You didn't need it.
What's your name? Carl? Right. Tony, do you have any more of this?
Good, nice.
You don't need it on your rate. T-coil, you can come to university. Yes, yes. But if you have hearing aids and you don't know if you have T-coil or not, you should be asking your hearing aid dispenser, do I have a T-coil? Because 70% of hearing aids have a T-coil but it may not be programmed to use. On the table, there is a brochure over there that says, would you like one?
I don't know, work though.
Okay.
Purpose of it. Yeah, that's why you're hearing aid.
These are not handouts.
Absolutely, yes. They're all that work in this room. So each of them are yours. But it works.
Thank you, Tony.
So it just goes to your- We have a loop in this room.
Some places like Seacrest, you have to wear some.
That they have an FM system and you can use the loop.
This should all be zeroed down.
Hi there. Hi, Nicole. So, okay. Patient. We have so many people here. Welcome. I probably need to go over here where the camera is. And okay, I am going to try to go to share my screen. And let's hope this works. Okay. Oh, you got to. No. Alan, it won't let me share screen. Pass the host back to me.
Okay, your co-host now should be able to access it.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
All right, so. Oh, no. I thank you for your patience. I am doing this for the first time, and there are going to be some technical issues, and I appreciate your patience. So we're going to talk about communication tips, and these are things that you can do. More importantly, the person you're talking to can do. So it's going to require some personal advocacy on your part to go through some of these steps. So let's see. So a third, so the United States, the National Institutes of Deafness and Disorders have determined that hearing loss is the third illness or disease or health condition in older adults. So it comes after heart disease, high blood pressure, that sort of thing. So it's very prevalent.
This is not working.
Yeah, the battery.
Oh, well.
Okay, I wish Rick was here.
Ow.
And Tony, don't you need to be using the microphone?
Is there anybody that can't hear me?
But for our attempt.
So that's why I invite you to use this, because I can turn on the speaker here, but it seems to have a little buzz in it. So
But the T-coil require tracing.
Testing 1, 2, 3, does that make it easier? Okay. There are approximately 20% of the United States population, 48 million, have a hearing loss. That's a lot of hearing loss. And about 28.8 million adults could be benefiting from a hearing loss, from a hearing aid, but they're currently not wearing one.
Toni,
So-
excuse me, Toni, your slide's not
Yeah.
advancing.
Go ahead.
The slide is not advancing.
Oh, I haven't advanced it yet. Okay, here we go. Okay, so my question, is anyone in the room have a hearing loss? Okay. All right. It's a couple people that didn't. Okay, that's okay. We have a spouse here. Spouses are welcome all the time. So hearing loss can be devastating in a marriage where one person has a hearing loss and the other does not. So spouses are welcome to these meetings. Okay.
Toni,
Does anyone in the room suspect who didn't say they had a hearing loss, suspect they have a hearing loss? So that might be Ellen? Yes. And you suspect you do? Okay. Okay, we got 2 people. And
Toni,
do you know anyone that has a hearing loss? Surprisingly, many people who have a hearing loss don't know other people that have a hearing loss. It's sometimes obvious when you have to shout at them or elevate your voice, understand they're not hearing, but they don't talk about it. In this room, we want to talk about hearing loss with each other. I'm not the only one. I have been involved in hearing loss support for almost 25 years. And I had a hearing loss. I started when I was 40. I have a cochlear implant and I wear a hearing aid on this side. So I've been around the block a few times and I can help, especially new people that may be struggling. Okay. So now we're going
Toni?
to talk tips.
Toni? Toni,
Yes.
okay. So on the Zoom screen, we're showing the slide with your slide deck on the left side. And it's still on slide number 1.
Okay, hold on. Let me go to the next slide and tell me what you see. Good lighting is important. Do you see that?
No. On your computer, can you click on the presentation from beginning?
All right.
Okay. Okay, you're in presentation view now. Okay. Good lighting is important.
Yeah.
All right, so you can see my slide?
Now I see good lighting is important.
That's right.
Okay,
Good.
good. Okay, they can see. Thanks for your patience. If you're in a dark room, you don't have the ability to see the person that is talking to you. Good lighting is really important. And so much for romantic films. But
at home, I like to see you.
okay, let me come over here. All right, so AI is supposed to follow me Okay, so I'm going to try to be here and there. Let's see, how else can I do this? All right, here we go. Here.
Mm.
You say I'm going to follow me?
Tony,
I'm going to have to practice
the
with this.
camera's over there. You were on there before.
We have artificial intelligence with a special camera that's supposed to follow the voice.
Are you
So
sure?
it's supposed to follow me over here. And
It's not.
I'm sure I have to do something. I'm going to have to practice a little bit more.
Artificial
But
intelligence.
I would like the people on to see me. And I want to face you too. So good lighting is important. And that's whenever you're trying to converse with somebody.
Hmm.
Can anybody think of circumstances where you're trying to listen and it's too dark? Places you've been where you weren't able to see the person you were talking to, the lighting wasn't good? If I know. Okay, so I can think of as restaurants, especially if they're dim. Restaurant is definitely a movie house. Can't do anything about that. Let's go to the next one. It's important for you to get the person's attention that you're going to be talking. And this is a marriage disruptor. When you have somebody speaking to a person who's not in the room, or if their back is to you, there is so much help by seeing the person's face and picking up physical cues. So if I'm angry, you can see my face. You know I'm angry. And that's going to help you hear a little better. So it's really important to get their attention. And so you can say, Richard.
Yes.
So I said, or I could come to you, whatever you're doing, and I can look at you, or I can ask you to turn around so that you can see me. Right. The person directly. This is, again, so important. And you can see in this picture, two people sitting together and they see each other. And it just makes for so much better communication. And I also want to say that hearing aids are not the same as glasses. So with glasses, you get a new prescription, you can see blades of grass. And so you go, wow, that's 100%. I didn't see that. I didn't know that grass had blades. But hearing aids are best when you're 6 feet apart from the person you're talking to. So can you stand up just for a second? Stand up. So this is a arm out, arm out, arm out. Yes, this is about 6 feet. So this is about how far. Hearing aids are best at. Beyond that, you may have to shout. The expectation that hearing aids are everything, they're not. But you still need them. You can't live without them. Okay, so face the person directly. Avoid noisy background. So you're having a dinner party, get some music on, the guests arrive, and you're the hostess with the hearing loss. And now we have a little bit of a problem because, well, I have a problem. I can't hear when there's background noise. To be clear, everybody's hearing loss is different. Somebody with a very mild hearing loss it may not bother them. The more profound, the more hearing loss you have, the bigger problem you're going to have. So, what can you do? I turn the music off. I've been in restaurants when I've asked them, especially if I'm sitting right under a speaker, I've asked them to please turn it off or down. Where else might you expect a noisy background? Where else might you expect?
Well, I've had problems with the telephone and the person is have other people in the same room, and that's been very frustrating.
What approach have you taken about that?
None.
Well, you could just say, for just a couple of minutes while I'm on the phone, could you be quiet?
Well, I'm talking about talking to a company, okay, and so I get customer service, but the person that I'm speaking with is in a big room. So,
Yes, I totally have that problem. Yeah, they're like in one of those telephone, what do you call it? Telemarketing boiling rooms. Yes. Well, you know, what helps me in that situation is I use a captioning telephone.
got that.
You have one of those?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, does it help you?
I get frustrated very easily.
Well, if you would like people to be patient with you, you need to learn to be patient with yourself. Just a suggestion. Okay. Another place with a noisy background is in the car. Cannot drive with the radio on in the car. Did you get set up with a fresh battery?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. I missed you, Rick. Okay. So that's another place with a noisy background. So I just turn that off, and then my mother and I can talk in the car. We drive back and forth from San Diego, and yeah. Okay. Another tip. It's not a good idea to shout. Never shout. Actually, too loud is distorting, and it wouldn't be you, it would be somebody that's talking to you. So sometimes Daniel has a really good idea. What he tells people on the phone, please, he explains, I have a hearing loss, and I know this is going to be difficult for you to understand, but I need you to speak.
That's not quite the way I say it.
Okay, come on, Daniel, explain how you say it.
I usually start by saying, I'm going to have to ask you to do something that's very difficult to do. Pause. Walk a little slower because I have serious hearing loss. Thank you. And everyone usually says thank you, and after about a sentence, they're talking at the same speed again. And then I'll tell them, I told you it wasn't easy. I have the same problem with my friends. They tell me to slow down.
You know, the people on Zoom didn't see you. Come on over here. Come on over.
Well, let's just see.
So this was Daniel who was just talking. Say hi to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay. We can't forget that they're there. Okay. Yeah, don't shout. Something that I've used in person, particularly with family members. I say, you know, it's really important. Everything you say is really important. And I want to understand, but I'm not. So if you would just speak a little slower, I kind of go into like asking them to do you a favor. But If you just keep saying, what, they're gonna get frustrated. They're not gonna talk to you. Just make them understand that it's important for you to understand that you wanna understand. So have that conversation. Try something like that. Amy, is it not working?
Okay. Hey, Bruce. Hearing me.
Oh, no, sit down. I'll talk to you a little bit later. Okay, I want to keep rolling with this. So don't shout. That's not the answer. Okay. Ask the person to speak clearly. This is really good over the phone when you're talking to a medical assistant who is talking way too fast and may have a little accent. If you ask them to slow down and speak clearly, that will help immensely. And if you're using a captioning phone, it will caption better for you. So a lot of times, a captioning phone will pop out the wrong words, and usually it's because the captioning phone didn't understand what the person was saying. Yes, Ken?
I add that if you're talking on a cell phone, you can get an app caption also.
Yes, yes, yes. I want to. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull up that. Next time, Alan, I'm going to have to do the introductory slides, because in the introductory slides, which the Zoom people saw, but not me, I pointed to the fact that caption call is a captioning telephone and a service, and they sponsor this meeting. They sponsor the captioner that you see here, Jo Gale. She is in Chicago, Illinois, and she's joined us to caption today. So they actually sponsor the captions, and they have a fabulous brand new mobile application that will caption everything the caller says and what you say. So you have a complete transcript saved in your phone of them and you, complete conversation. It's captioncall.com.
Do you have to have a separate phone for that, or?
No, it's an application you download on your iPhone or on your Android. Yes, excuse me. Okay. Speaking clearly. Okay, let's see here. So, don't cover your mouth. I know a lot of people who cover their mouth when they're talking, or when they're leaning. Somebody's phone. And so that's not good. Don't chew food and don't smoke. And another thing is that people with mustaches make it difficult. Yeah, I'm pointing at you, Brett. Make it difficult for lip reading.
Yes.
Can be difficult. I'm not asking you to remove it. You just okay. Mustaches are a problem. You can ask someone to remove it. They'll probably pop you one. Okay. Phrase. If you've asked somebody to repeat and you still didn't understand, ask them if they could rephrase. Use different words. Put words in a different order. Rephrase it. Use different words. I find that was very helpful. Use facial expressions and gestures. really speaks a lot to understanding what somebody is saying. So sometimes I get very animated with, you know, people I'm talking to. So because they understand better. All right, next one. When asked which was the greater loss, her sight or her hearing, Helen Keller, in her own words, said, blindness cuts people off from things, deafness cuts people off from people. So no matter the degree of your deafness or your hearing loss, you're not understanding, you'll probably have a tendency to withdraw from family members, especially those that get impatient with you, from social events, and you may not go to the movies because you can't hear. There's solutions for that we'll talk about in another meeting. So it's really important, and the pandemic really caused a lot of disruption to socialization. Being social is healthy. Being not social is terrible. It's disastrous. So you need to stay in communication with people. So. Okay, can you read that?
No. Hearing loss.
Invisible and poorly understood condition. So there it is with hearing aids. The other way was without hearing aids. So hearing loss, no aids. Hearing loss with aids. Sharper, you can hear the words better. Okay. So today I'm asking you to be ear responsible and take care of your ears because they connect with the world. And so what does that mean? That means get an annual hearing test. Make it a part of your physical, same time with a hearing healthcare professional. It doesn't matter if you have hearing aids already, you're entitled to, Medicare allows, if you have Medicare, allows for an annual checkup. I think that's with Medicare Advantage plans, but you're entitled to it. And you should, because if you've had any drop in your hearing, your hearing aids need to be adjusted.
What are they checking up? When you say they do the checkup.
Check your hearing. Check your hearing.
Oh, I see.
Have an audiogram. Have a hearing test.
I got it.
Yeah. So, but that's your responsibility to do it, because primary care physicians don't make that suggestion, and they should. So whether you have hearing aids or not, you really should get one, especially if you are 65 and older. What else was I going to say about that? Also, if you have hearing aids, you should absolutely visit your hearing aid dispenser at least every 6 months. For hearing aids, if you have tubes, change the tubes, the rubber gets old, moisture gets in your hearing aids, they really need a little maintenance. So definitely at least every 6 months. And if you have a problem before that, make an appointment and get in there and say, I have a problem. Yeah. I've met people who got hearing aids and never went back. Sometimes you get earwax, you know, that's gets caught up in your hearing aid. It's got to be cleaned out. Got to be cleaned out. Okay. So where are we at here? I think we're at the end. Yes. Okay, here we are. Now, what I do have for everybody. Jeff, did you pick up? Okay.
Would you like to pass some around to everybody?
This is a Q-tip card. This Q-tip card, on one side, is for people who are hearing when communicating with people with hearing loss. On the other side are tips. They're passing it out. He's passing it out now. Are tips for people with hearing loss when communicating with people who are hearing. So that's you. You're communicating. So communication is a two-way street. People with hearing loss must make as much effort as hearing people. Set your stage. Tell others how best to talk to you. Anticipate the difficult situations. We talked about some of them. Plan how to minimize. Project your communication, but not loud like I talk. Pay attention. Don't snooze up. Concentrate on the speaker. That's your part. Look for visual clues. Ask for written clues if needed. Don't interrupt the speaker and let the conversation flow a little to gain more meaning. So, establish empathy with the audience. React, let the speakers know how well they are doing. How am I doing? How am I doing? Okay. I'm going to be taking questions. So, and I'm going to be taking them from people on Zoom and as well as people in the room. So if you have a question, please use the reactions, the raised hand. The raise hand feature. So I raised my hand and I showed up right there on the first. So if you have any questions, please use the raise hand feature. It's really hard when we have 19 people. They can't all be on the screen. So there's another screen that is behind. Or maybe they all are here. Okay. So try to raise your hand, and if Alan's going to let me know if you have a question. Is there any questions here in the room? Yes. Oh, okay. Richard and then Sora.
Yeah, so I want to know that app for the
Okay, so just go to the App Store or the Play Store and download CaptionCall.com. Only Low. OLELO. Not download, not Caption Call. Low. You will have to sign up. You will have to sign up.
Do I have one?
You will have to sign up. For Olio. You'll have to download the app and you'll have to sign up. Okay. Yes, Vicki.
Is caption call private, or is there a human listening in, and are they vetted if there's someone who's listening in?
Okay, so Olilo is owned by Caption Call. It's actually owned by Sorensen. Sorensen, who was a parent company all along for Caption Call, bought Caption Call, and they're really under the name of Sorensen now. Olilo is owned by Sorensen. It's all one company now. And it's my understanding that Olilo is AI. So I worked for Caption Call from 2011 to 2014. So I installed phones in Laguna Woods, and I even went to San Francisco, and one time I took a road trip up Oregon, Washington, all along. So I know a little something about caption call, but it has changed. But Olilo has become my favorite smartphone, and there's quite a few of them out there. And I love that they kept the whole conversation. And they are responsive, so please feel free to try. Okay. Any questions on Zoom? Jim Haight, okay, would you unmute yourself, Jim? Unmute yourself, Jim.
Yes, I have an observation. I have difficulty understanding a person who has a heavy beard and a mustache. I find that they are talking through the brush, so to speak. And this was turned up recently on 2 adjacent television programs that I get in Los Angeles. One is Channel 9, which is KRLA, in which they have both their studio speakers and their reporters with heavy beards. And I'm trying to figure out how to get away from that. And the only thing I can do is turn to Channel 5, who are very careful to keep all of their speakers, all of their studio speakers with no beards. And I think that's somehow I'd like to know how to get that point across to TV stations.
Okay, Jim, are you using captioning on your television?
Yes, I am.
And is that not helping?
Yes, it is helping.
Okay. Listen, we were just talking about that a minute ago. We have one gentleman in the room here who's got a mustache and a beard. So it is a problem. And you just may have to ask them, if you're in person, to speak slowly and clearly. And if you're watching TV, turn on the captions. Does anybody else have another solution? You could ask them to shave.
Well, okay, that's one. That's what I should do. The other subject on the same thing is that I was having difficulty hearing a lot of people about a month ago, and I went to my doctor and said that I think I need my ears cleared out, and the doctor took hot water and various other machinations and took out about 3/4 of an inch of wax from the ear. And I found that that was a very, very helpful procedure to have. And I just want to recommend that to anybody that's having unusual difficulty.
Hey, Toni, we have Mike Conley and also Kay Canute.
Hi, Michael from San Diego.
I'm sorry.
What's your question?
Yeah, okay. I'm reading the captions. I'm Michael Conley from San Diego, and I'm actually here because I wanted to see how you're doing it. We're thinking of doing it. And first of all, Toni, I have to tell you this presentation just covers everything. I've been deaf since birth, and I've had to learn and pick up all these tips throughout my whole life. And I'm going to bring up one suggestion, but I have to tell you, you really covered so much. And I want to give you that compliment. There are a couple of things I wanted to offer that might be helpful. First of all, I have learned and I must say, I learned this recently, just in the last 10 or 12 years, that you have to give people permission to talk about your hearing loss. In other words, people don't want to talk about it. They'll be embarrassed. But if you say to them, I have a hearing loss, and then if they start asking questions, just encourage them, because then they will feel more like a part of the solution when it comes to communicating. The second thing is, I have this mantra whenever I get on the phone with somebody. I say, I have a hearing loss. That's my problem. It's not your problem, but I'm going to ask you to repeat some things. And when I'm in person, I mention it. And then I say to them, we're going to be okay, because I want to make it a little disarming. I don't want them to feel like it's going to be an adversarial thing. We're going to have a problem. The thing that has helped me a lot is my hearing in my right ear. I wear cochlear implant hearing aid. The hearing in my right ear is better. So I always position myself to sit to the left of people. If I'm going to sit in a restaurant, I always make sure I sit towards the left end of the table. And then people who are speaking, I read lips. So if they're sitting in front of me, that's fine. But if they're sitting to my right, that works out better. And then finally, the one thing I want to say is that I have a captioning device on my phone, and I use InnoCaption. And I found that really works. So I think there are a number of programs out there, but I use, InnoCaption.com, and they are staffed, and they will walk you through downloading it. I am technically challenged, and I tried to download it, have problems, and they walk me through it via email. So those are my thoughts, but I want to say I'm very glad to be here today, and I think this is a terrific presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. Alan, let's use Spotlight for the questions and answers on Zoom. Okay. Hi, Kay. What's your question?
My question is this. I have had a severe hearing loss for many years, and I rely heavily on closed captioning. There always is a hitch in what I see. If I could contact Joe Gale in Chicago directly, I would like to tell her about this. I was very thrilled in Zoom meetings to get closed captioning. I'm just thrilled that it's here, but I would like to meet the person that reads from the center of a line of type moving in both directions. That's a problem. I don't know anybody who reads from the center in both directions, but that's the way the feed goes when you're looking at the closed captioning on Zoom meetings. I suppose it's a limitation of the electronics, and certainly it's better than nothing. It gives me at least a clue as to what's being discussed, but often I really am not following a conversation because of that goofy feed. But
okay, we're not seeing that here. Is anybody here seeing captions from the center out? Okay, never seen. Yeah, I don't know.
You think it's my iPad?
Maybe you need to reboot your computer, but not now.
Okay, thank you. The other thing I wanted to say is all hybrid meetings that I have been to have very poor sound quality. I am thrilled today that I can hear you so well, Toni. You're a good speaker, but I'm thrilled that the machinery is working and we can hear you so clearly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate. Okay. Alan Kutsura, you got a question?
A comment for Kay. make sure you're on the latest version of Zoom,
Oh, interesting.
because sometimes when stuff gets left behind like that, you get some odd quirks if you're not on a current version.
Good, thank you.
I think on an
Thank you,
iPad.
thank you, Ellen, that was great.
Yeah, I think you just go back to the.
Don't do it now,
Apple's-
Kate. Don't
Yeah,
do
but I
it now
think you
when
just-
we're talking, while you're on the call. After we hang up, look and see if you can update your Zoom.
I'll do that, thank you.
Okay. More comments from Zoom. I will try to look for hands being raised, physical hands. Okay, we've got. Well, okay, that's it. Okay. Any questions here?
I would like to know how a beard can affect the voice as opposed to a mustache. Mustache can.
It's covering up the lips. People innately, by practice or innately, read lips. And then figure out what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, well, I do have a few things. So Alan, I hope you took notes. There's some things we need to improve and to make this better for everybody. I think I could do a better camera setup so that I can be seen. And AI does not seem to be following people in the room. So I got to see what I've done wrong with that. Okay, Helen Frederick, long time no see. No questions from you, Helen? Helen? I caught her. Hi, Helen. Helen. Hi, Helen. Hi.
Maybe you move.
Unmute yourself. I just want to say hi. It's been a long time since I've seen you. How are you doing?
Yeah, you don't move.
You have to unmute yourself. There you go.
No, I'm with you. No, I'm a long time hearing loss person. Since I was 20, they discovered it, and I'm 83 now. So it's been a long time, and I've had a lot of interesting experiences trying to teach others to speak clearly.
Yes. Good for you. Yeah, you're a nurse. Remember, you're a nurse. Did I remember that correctly?
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful.
Just do little volunteer things.
Yes. Thank you, Helen. Good to see you. Okay. I'm going to let everybody know we're going to kind of close down a little bit here. I'll take any question, regardless of what it is.
Right.
So this is wide open. But before anybody looks out the door, there's no meeting in August. No meeting in August. So we'll be back in the fall. I'm going to try to practice my my hybrid meetings and try to make some improvements. So, okay, communication off the table. Any other questions? Any questions that everybody has? Randy.
I can tell you, I've been through like, I've been involved in a really wonderful group of people. One is small enough for me to hear everybody, even get a microphone. And I was in a meeting today, a meeting on Monday, and even the temple meeting. I think I can hear the rabbi okay, for the most part. Sometimes you say a joke, or sometimes somebody I can hear somebody from when the meeting in the service is going on. In terms of the two meetings that I went to, I don't know, I have to get some kind of cut up. This is going too far. We have something called the ADA, but it's not being really used in Laguna Wood. And I have to make some kind of progress. I have an app that somebody said that I could use, and it might work. I have the app now that called Ava. It's kind of okay. But in terms of hearing the speaker and the proper response, nada. It's confusing.
Randy, where is your rabbi speaking? What location? Where are you?
I mean, what room?
In Laguna Woods?
Oh, yeah.
What clubhouse, what room?
One.
Clubhouse 1?
Yeah.
In the main room?
Correct.
Okay. They have FM devices there you can borrow from the office. And you can
Okay.
get a neck loop that connects to
Okay, I have, right, okay, thank you for Nick. Okay, I may have to buy a $400 device because let me explain. The reason is this hearing aid doesn't have what you call it, T-coil. So what are you using right now?
You can use the neck loop with your T-coil and an FM box.
Okay, what is that program?
Okay, so right here I'm using Live Transcribe on my Android phone.
Okay, let me
And
get that.
everything that it hears, it is printing out in real time. This is not available for iPhone. This is only available for Android.
Okay. Okay. Are you sure? Yeah.
Okay, Vicky says that it's available. Okay, the Live Transcribe that's available on iPhone is a premium service. You have to pay for that, right? Yes. Okay. So, and actually that looks pretty good. When I tried it years ago, it wasn't so good. So how many days trial do you get before you pay for it?
I don't recall, but
Well, here's the problem with iPhone I've had,
Okay.
is that when you sign up for an app and you don't want it anymore, it's hard to get off. So anyway, just buyer beware. It looks like a great app. So how much is it?
I'm saying it's very easy to delete an app on the iPhone, better than Android.
Oh, no, but you have to delete the subscription, the monthly subscription.
Well, okay, I'm not sure. But it was
How much are you paying?
$50 or $60 for a year, I believe.
Okay, $50 or $60 a year. So I use this in the bank, and I rarely go to the bank anymore, but here, the cashier, checkout, in the store, the pharmacy, whatever. If I know I'm not gonna hear, I use Live Transcribe on my Android phone. So that is an option for people, and you can see that it is, and it uses AI. So it's not going to be 100% perfect, but it's going to be pretty darn good. So it's called Live Transcribe. All
Okay.
right. So
Yes, for those who do have an iPhone, go to settings, go to media and purchaser. If you want to opt out,
media and what?
purchaser.
Okay. So you can unsubscribe there?
Correct.
Okay.
And then, no, subscription.
Okay.
Subscription. Yeah.
There are other programs like Ava, which I'm a little bit technical. I've never been able to get it to work. So, and also, if you have an iPhone 11 or better, accessibility, you can bring up captions for the videos that you play. the movies you watch on your phone. You can get captions. It's not an app to download. It's in the settings and it's in accessibility. You can turn on captions, but it does not work like in the room. It just works for the sounds that come through your phone, not the telephone, just the media part. Do you have a cell phone? Do you have a Android or an iPhone? Android, okay. So this works great, but this works for any video you play. It works for everything. It does not work for phone calls. You need a dedicated app for phone calls. There you go.
Right, and I had varying degrees of success with both of this one. This is probably the best I've seen, but the question is, can I hear the rabbi or can I hear the speaker? And then there's people talking in a microphone and they're like 50 feet away.
Yes, I attended the senior summit and it was at Soka University. It's a big room, hundreds of people. And I sat about 6 rows back and I whipped up my log transcribe and I got everything captioned that the speaker was saying. And I shared it with a friend who was also hard of hearing.
Yeah, why not? You put it on here. Oh, I did it. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe
Yes,
that-
Vicki.
I would like to see, you know, you can take this facility on the iPhone that's doing the transcription, and every room could have a volume that's independent of whatever is shown that has these transcriptions. And I like this gentleman, I would like to see every conference room at Laguna Woods, Clubhouse 7, Clubhouse 1, have something like this closed captioning accompany the event. And the staff don't know about the assisted listening devices. And you yourself, I don't believe in broadcasting T-coil with that microphone today. There's many deficiencies here at Laguna, and hour after hour, there are meetings in the clubhouse that we cannot effectively hear, even though the sign is open and there's an ADA requirement.
First of all, I want to tell you there is no ADA requirement in housing, not here. They do that because we need it. I have every single assistive device that is in Laguna Woods. I went to the recreation department, the meeting. I asked for that and I've been working on it forever. And also we've been working on churches and synagogues. So Jude Temple is the latest. Okay, they are now looped. St. Nicholas Catholic Church is looped. Presbyterian Church is looped. The Lutheran Church is, are they back to the flood? Lutheran? Okay, the Lutheran Church was looped, but they had a pipe burst. They had a disastrous event. So I guess they're not back up and running yet. What's the name of the church on Moulton across from Jude Temple? Hope? You looped it.
I know.
So this is Rick. He is a looper. He's loopy.
That's true.
So anyway, so he was here today to make sure that we were up and running with this system. Okay.
I don't understand this looping thing.
Okay, so I'm going to be very brief here. There is a loop, a wire that is in this room. It's in the ceiling, and it circles around the room under the ceiling. And Rick, come on over here because you can help me out a little bit. So that wire is connected to this amplifier, and no, it's not. No, we disconnected it.
Microphone.
We have a microphone here, right here, special, that picks up your voice And that voice travels to the wire.
Okay, but you must have a telecoil, either in your hearing aid, or you can borrow one of these. This is a telecoil as well.
Okay.
With that, with your little clip on, you clip that on and that will connect you to the loop. And then the sound goes directly into your hearing aids. Your hearing aids become a speaker. It just jumps right in there. So if there's a little background noise, that you won't hear that. It goes direct. So the signal, the voice signal is clear. As clear as the speaker is speaking. Yes, Randy.
Do you have that T-coil up there in Clubhouse 1?
No. In the art room, but in the club, in dining room one, the big room, the ballroom, they have an FM system.
Okay.
You've been around HLAA, SHH long time, you have an FM system.
Yeah, right.
They have a newer FM system. You borrow the receiver from the manager's office.
Right.
You have telecoils. You know? Okay, so get a headset and wear it on the top. Put the headset so that not on your ear, but a little bit above.
I would say this. I would say nothing. I would say about this is with the older people, and being with the older people, there may be 1/3 of them, if not more, missing information, and maybe I can
Why they need to be in the room.
Here, I don't think it's more people.
So
I know it's easy. I got you.
Some of the new hearing aids have Bluetooth technology and does not like it's
So I'm really glad that Connie asked about Bluetooth. Bluetooth is wonderful. It connects your hearing aids to your phone. It does not connect you to public places. Bluetooth right now, they're trying to make it multi-devices. But right now, Bluetooth can only work on one device at a time. So if you have Bluetooth, it's wonderful, but you can have both. And so if you're going to be purchasing hearing aids, request a hearing aid with a Bluetooth and a telecoil. Mine have both. So, and it doesn't cost more. You have to be specific. Now here's the thing that makes me very unhappy. And I haven't been around to all the hearing aid dispensers yet, but I plan to. I'm hearing hearing aid dispensers saying, you don't need T-coil. That's been around for years. That's old technology. New stuff is coming on. What you want is Bluetooth. But they're not understanding that Bluetooth isn't helpful in this situation. With or without a hearing aid, it doesn't help you. So, and Bluetooth is still not perfect. Bluetooth has called latency, which means it spontaneously can be a little delay. And so if you're just talking to one person, that's not a big deal. But it's not ready. Bluetooth is not ready for use in the courtroom. Say you have to go and jury duty, or you need to face the judge. That's a public place. There's the ADA, and they must provide assistive technology. They must provide you with minimally a hearing assistive device. They won't necessarily have a loop unless I've been to visit them, but they will have an FM system. So And that's in theaters, you know, my favorite theater over there in Elisa Piano, Edwards, okay, they have receivers, they have FM receivers. And although sound there is pretty darn good, so I don't always need a assistive device. So, okay, this is the last chance for questions. Yes, Vicki, did you, were you scratching your head or did you have a question? Vicki?
I got one. I just think we need more detail. I'll talk.
Okay, all right, I think, so people on Zoom, questions? Alan, do we have any questions either in the chat or?
A special program they have to have.
No, I don't see anything in the chat. And nobody
Okay.
has their hands up.
Yes, Ken?
Barrient office, and then people want to train on how to use the T-coil, you can come in and actually, I can show them how to do that.
Yes. So Ken is a hearing aid dispenser and his office is located in Pocos. All right, I'm gonna say thank you to everybody on Zoom for attending. And please give us a chance again. If you're on my email list, you will get notification of the topic. I have some invitations out for speakers, so please join us again in September. It'll be the third Friday in September. Mark your calendar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is this going to be? Oh, yes.